So we can shit on them, but shorty generous. She wanna pack her little friends inside the 4-door. Looking at the ass, cause you the shit, but shorty in her own class on her. She know how I'm coming by her. In the height of slavery, I probably slapped the shit out of one of them little white boys. They ever tried to play with her. Probably lose my life, but shit, I proudly take their love. Simply cause I live for you. I love you like one of my kind, let it cake. You know I care for you. Think I'm funny, anything to put a smile on you, shorty. Shorty such a queen, she got me singing Elvis like the king. I can't help falling in love with something like that.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Jeneax.
And your main man 5.
And we're back with another banger for you guys.
So, as y'all know, a couple days ago, we did a reaction to Watch the Party Die by Kendrick. I see a couple days ago, Lecrae did a response. Because, you know, obviously in the song, he was saying, like, you know, when he... I like that part. He was referencing just like an inner dialogue with himself. You know, like when people be like, what would Jesus do? Or like, what would blah, blah, blah. I like when he was like, what would Lecrae do? Like a man of faith that has a firm grasp and understanding of how to take the higher ground the way Jesus would have. Right. Not to say that Lecrae is perfect or anything, but when you have a personal connection with somebody who has a definitive understanding and alignment with their faith, right, you always want to be able to learn from them. That's the point of having friends around you. If you got good people around you, you should be able to learn from them. Right. So I say all that to say Lecrae put out a response called Ain't Watch the Party Die. Okay. Now, as I told you, I'm not too familiar. I've heard a handful of songs from him, but from my understanding, he is a Christian rapper. Okay. And I told you my thoughts is he's just gonna give him like a moral high ground understanding of what I think you should do in this situation. He probably gonna tell him to step away from all of that because this is the devil trying to derail you from your divine path. Or I feel like that's where it's going.
It definitely makes a lot of sense.
but though, like all jokes aside, men need to have friends around them that tell them not to choose violence. Yeah,
he spoke him up, so now he about to.
But I feel like that's important though.
Yeah.
Men, if you want to stay out of jail, surround yourself with men that's not troublemakers.
That's so true.
They rile you up and get your dumb ass killed. Yeah. For real.
A mixture of having your own brain and surrounding yourself with positive people.
It's important.
Culture got enough clout, chasing vultures out here, trying to prove they worth. They need attention. They can't imagine me not trying to make myself look bigger off of this Kendrick mention. I can't imagine his position. Before I got on my mission, I was a party victim. I bought the party favors. I used my trauma, my single mama, to justify commas to pay the devil's wages. And probably one of
my face went with the. Yeah. I like where this is going.
I bought the party favors. I used my trauma, my single mama, to justify commas to pay the devil's wages. And probably went over their heads. Basically what I said is I was government fed, bred for doing time in the feds, but Jesus bled. Instead of putting dents in their head, he turned his. My cup runneth over with nonsense. They hearts grow colder, they love to do evil, they burn their conscience. I want the dealer's head who gave my cousin fentanyl. Labels exploiting rapping addicts, man, I'm sick of y'all. My daddy ran with Compton Chris, my uncle's Pyro. Stuck in the middle of this madness, what should I choose? I should be choosing between Howard and Hampton. I love the people that I ran with, but look at the damage. You want me to put you on, but I know you still with the scamming. A crooked doctor took advantage and hooked me on Xanax. This killer's sitting in their cell for taking somebody innocent, and they don't even feel no remorse. The worst ignorance. But when I take a look in the mirror, the blood of Uriah's on my hands, cause I'm that killer who had Bathsheba in his quarters. I'm that who let Eve taste the fruit of death. I'm dead sinner, I deserve death, along with all these liars and hypocrites. Fake tough rappers who fabricate their predicaments. Fake deep guru pushing brutal on the people, telling folks that my God ain't real. That's real evil. I wonder what Lecrae would do. Hopefully seek the hand of God and tell him that he's incapable. But truthfully, I'm nobody to judge.
See, the reason why I like this though is because Not only because it's exactly what I thought it was,
Right.
but because I like the fact that he's leveling. It's not one of those things where he coming from a moral high ground where it's like looking down on Kendrick like, no, you shouldn't. It's like I understand because I've been in that predicament and I understand what it means to have to stand in the middle of basically a split road.
Right.
Are you going to choose the path that's less traveled? Shout out to Robert Frost. Mm-hmm. But are you going to choose the road less traveled, or are you going to choose what people will want you to do? Because obviously the fans that don't have to be affected by the emotional turmoil or the spillover of what will go on in the backgrounds of these situations, whether somebody was to get hurt behind these beefs or words being exchanged affecting people's families and livelihoods. Like what he's saying about Drake, would that affect what it's like for Adonis when he's going to school?
Right.
Would that make it hard with kids start to bully him? Like, your dad's this or that. People, you know what I'm saying? I like the fact that first of all, I didn't know he's from Compton as well. So he levels with him in a whole different way.
Right, on a personal note.
I like the fact that it's giving the vibe of Lecrae is another example of a good kid in a mad city.
Right.
And I think that's the beautiful thing because it shows Kendrick's issues and his dichotomy. It shows Lecrae's perspective of choosing to take another path, but also knowing what it was like to be there with you.
Right.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about it. When you have friends that level with you rather than judge, that's more important, and that's better advice.
That is better advice, especially if you've been there. Like, why not try to understand that, especially if you've been there too, it makes sense to not judge them and help them through it, or just give them, just good, solid advice.
I feel like it's necessary because, and this is coming from a man, but I'm pretty sure this is something that everybody can relate to. No adult learns a lesson from being scolded. I think if you want to teach somebody something, you would do it in the same way that you would teach a child. Yelling at your children or putting your hands on them aren't going to make them learn the lesson. It makes them afraid of you.
Exactly. That's the wrong message.
Yeah, and with an adult scolding them as if they are a child, they already turned off their ears.
Yeah, because you're not about to
Because
scream
who you talking to? Right.
Exactly.
So I like the perspective, and I like the fact that he's giving biblical ideologies to kind of mesh in well with the message. Like with him talking about being, and this shout out to J. Cole, this is like talking about being a born sinner. And what I mean by that is, in the Bible, God speaks hundreds of times that he never made us to be perfect.
Right.
We all fallible and we all fall short. So when he's speaking on, I identify what it's like to be a sinner, with saying stuff like, I'm the one that told Eve to eat the forbidden fruit. If you read Genesis, that's the serpent and the devil. Basically, when God made the world and he made Adam and Eve, he specifically said, all of this belongs to you, but do not eat that forbidden fruit.
Right.
But Eve heard from the serpent, maybe you can convince Adam to just eat the fruit and blah, blah, blah. So she convinced Adam to go against God's wishes. He commanded him, you will not do this.
Right.
God made them to not know wrong, but in the moment where they took the wrong path, they instantly knew, I fucked up.
Right.
Because when God came down to the garden, Adam was hiding from him. Because all of a sudden he got insecure. When he made them, they were nude.
Right.
But all of a sudden, when he broke God's commandments, he got insecure about being naked. He was hiding from God. He was like, Adam, where are you? Right. He came out. He's like, why you hiding from me? He's like, I'm exposed. He was like, who told you was naked?
Right.
Like, where did you know what I'm saying? I like that ideology because it's basically saying you get the most remorse when you know you're wrong.
Yeah.
And that creates emotional turmoil on the inside.
It do. You always know when you fucked up.
Yeah, because as soon as he ate that apple, he was like,
yeah, everything sounds good before you actually do it. And then after you do it, it's like, oh shit, I should never do that.
Imagine being the first person in the world to be insecure. How do you even know what that is?
Right. Like, why do I feel this way? Is this normal?
Oh God, I'm naked. Well, who told you was naked?
Well,
I didn't tell you that.
I feel something.
I feel exposed. My ass is out.
I feel breeze.
Yeah. No, I really like this though.
Choosing between Howard and Hampton. acting. I love the people that I ran with, but look at the damage. You want me to put you on, but I know you still with the scamming. A crooked doctor took advantage and hooked me on Xanax. This killer's sitting in their cell for taking somebody innocent, and they don't even feel no remorse. The worst ignorance. But when I take a look in the mirror, the blood of Uriah's on my hands, cause I'm that killer who had Bathsheba in his quarters. I'm that who let Eve taste the fruit of death. I'm dead sinner, I deserve death, along with all these liars and hypocrites. Fake tough rappers who fabricate their predicaments. Fake deep guru pushing voodoo on the people, telling folks that my God ain't real. That's real evil. I wonder what Lecrae would do. Hopefully seek the hand of God and tell him that he's incapable. But truthfully, I'm nobody to judge. My good deeds are like some period blood stains on a dirty rug. All I can offer them is Jesus' love. I know it sound foolish to many, like really? That's all you got for us? Yeah. The cross is foolish to the perishing. The world will call me weak and the saints will say I embarrass them. I walk through valleys full of evil, I'm aware of it. I can't condemn the world and burn all of the heretics. Love is patient, so I'm trusting in the narrative. And Christ didn't watch the party die, he died instead of it.
No, this is crazy. I like that. I really do like it.
I love the message.
Yeah, and I told you, I love the fact that he leveled with him. It was something I wanted to speak on. It's like certain reasons why I don't always like to wait for the song to die. I mean, for the song to end to talk on it, because sometimes so many lines that I like come along
and
that you kind of forget. Hold on.
Hopefully seek the hand of God and tell him that he's incapable. But truthfully, I'm no.
That's a good one too. Like, you know, they always talk about the narrative getting pushed on. You always hear when people, whether speculation or fact, I agree that there's a lot of fact in that, but the media, how they're trying to make it seem like certain things are important when they are. Like, have you ever heard about like the government's plots to pull the father out of the home? Or like, you know what I'm saying, to make it seem like it's okay to be strictly an independent woman and you don't need no man. You don't need no man to raise their kids. You need it because there's nothing that grounds a family more than having a strong father. But not even just a father, a mother's a nurturer, but to have them in unison, to raise their children together, that's what raises them up right. They always gonna have a piece of their identity missing when you missing a parent. You know, a lot of us suffer from that. I was raised that way. And I feel like I didn't learn the qualities of what it was like to, the simple things, like to have emotional control or be able to deal with my baggage, as opposed to running away from it and getting angry. I think having a father helps you learn to structure your emotions. That's why a lot of these young black dudes end up in jail, because they don't got nobody to tell you fucking up, bro.
It's definitely normalized to be like a single parent or whatever. It's like, yeah, you can do it if that's how your cards are dealt.
But technically you can't. I've never seen a single parent that's not struggling. That's the only reason I say that.
Well, I just mean like you can do it. Like, it's pretty sure there's people out there that was raised by single dads, single moms, and you know, they grew up fine because their parent took the role of both. Like, you can do it, but you know, it's supposed to be a family, like structure. Like, you need both parents. I agree with both.
And I respect where you're coming from. I don't like to shoot down the way you perceive it, because you're right to believe it that way. I just feel like the thing is, you have a lot of people, I'm included in that, where they were raised by, I wasn't really raised by either one of my parents. I was raised by a grandmother. A lot of black boys were. But my point being, just because you can't see the wounds don't mean they're not there. You have men that grow up to choose to do right and structure themselves because they understand what's on the other side of that. You got to have a healthy fear of consequence to know the difference between right and wrong. But to be honest, the wounds are there. I've met many guys that were raised by just their mother, that they're really great dudes, but when they alone, their emotional control is horrible. They don't know how to be functional in relationships. It's because you're missing an identity piece.
That's so true.
So I agree with what you're saying. You can go in and do amazing things, and more than likely you will, because you understand what it's like. But you're going to struggle. That's just a fucking fact. And they push that, because even back in the day, if you were getting government assistance, they wouldn't give it to you if the father was in the home. Like, that's a thing.
Because he's supposed to be providing. Like,
yeah, it's like
you're supposed to be okay if you have wife, husband.
I agree. And Kendrick even talked about that on one of his, I think it was Fear. I love that song. I play that one a lot.
Okay.
Well, he was just really talking about that too. Like, you know, when a food stamp man come, you better not tell him that your father live here.
Right.
Because that takes away from the benefits that we can have. That's crazy.
What do you mean you're a family and you're struggling? Like, get it together.
Right. But I just love the fact that he's playing both sides. And I like the fact that he's choosing a humble approach, because if you want to have the true understanding of faith, you understand that I'm not nobody special. Anybody that you see that's God-fearing or religious in any type of way or fashion, they have to learn to be humble, because you're not God.
Right.
I like the fact that he said, I love the fact that you respect my opinion, and y'all assume just because I'm a Christian rapper, I'm gonna come with a message, a word. But no, I'm nobody to judge. And you see, I talk about that a lot now too, since I started digging in faith. I'm not nobody to judge. My opinion is the same as everybody else.
I think the people that think like that give it a bad rep. Like, people think they're perfect just because they believe in one thing, or they think they're above just because, like, you might believe in it and someone don't, or they're trying to still find their way, or you just feel like you're just better just because you believe in something. And it's like, bro, you're the worst example ever.
I agree. No, you're completely right. And that's not even a hot take to say. I believe the biggest devils can be in the church.
Oh yeah.
The biggest hypocrites and the people that feel like they got the room to act like they anywhere near perfect, you don't believe in God.
Yeah.
There's no way you do, because you wouldn't act the way you do.
That's so true. I even hear my grandma say stuff like
It's
that.
not right.
Like, it's always like people in the church that say that. They
What?
Like, yeah, there's evil people in church.
Yes, it is. The worst kind of people. But
Which is sad. A place that's you're supposed to be comfortable there. It's supposed to be positivity. You should be able to be there and not think that anybody in here has any malicious, like, agendas, you know?
But you always got to remember that this is life. And
There's always malicious people in any realm.
Yes, it is.
In a room full of positive people,
Somebody's wrong.
You don't know what people are thinking in their head. You don't know what people do behind closed doors. There's always evil out there.
But I think that's why all you can do is choose to live your life in a way that best serves you and the way that you want to live your life.
Yes.
But I really do like this one.
Yeah, I like the response to it.
And I like the fact that it's not accusatory. He said, I get where you coming from. I done been there.
Yeah, I figure everybody thought they was going to come into this thinking he was going to, like, pick a side or something.
Why would he pick a side? If anything, Kendrick called on him as a friend.
Right.
I wonder what Lecrae would do. He probably got a better idea than I do.
And I like how he talked about in the beginning, like, he wasn't sure if he should do this because it's like, is it kind of clout chasing? Because I'm involving myself in something that doesn't really need to involve me. But at the same time, it's like, why not? Like, fuck it. I'm gonna do what I want at the end of the day.
I agree. I like the fact that he had actual perspective to give.
Yeah.
The last two things I do want to say before we end it. One, I like the fact that the cover art is an inverse, because
the whites.
Because the culture, we identify Black Air Forces with what?
With, like, bad activity.
Right. Bad intentions.
Psychopathy. That's not even a word.
Psychopathity. But I like the fact that he has the white Air Forces. We don't gotta, like, explain it.
So fresh and so clean.
Right. And it leans into his brand.
It do.
He said, I came out as white as snow. Like, God, I came out as white as snow.
I cleaned them up. I cleaned them.
I like that. And two, I like the last line where he was like, God ain't watched the party die. He died instead of it.
Mm-hmm.
That line sums up everything. You don't have to have been raised in the church to understand that Jesus died for our sins. That's how it's explained in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that, I said earlier in the video, it was never meant for us to be perfect. The only reason that we have the right to have faith and have a connection with God in any way is because Jesus died for our sins. Mm-hmm. And what that means is he made a covenant to the fact that we have the right to have a connection with God. There's not nothing you can do in your life that you can earn it. There's not nothing you can do to make yourself holier than thou or righteous than anybody around you. It's just the fact that he made the ultimate sacrifice and paid that price for us. So because of his sacrifice is why we can beef like this and we can curse each other out and call each other PDFs.
We're already forgiven.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we can call each other pedophiles. Like,
thank Jesus. Because we would have all been going to a dark place.
Everybody was going to hell together. We always gonna get in there arm in arm. Like, right. So, no, I love this. It was really good.
Yeah, it was shorter.
It was. But, no, go ahead.
No, it was one of those short but effective things.
I agree. But it was heavy. It was heavy. You have anything else you want to say before I close it up?
No.
All right, cool. So, all right, bet. What I did want to say is, y'all love the Watch the Party Die reaction that we did. We put in that video that if y'all got us to 100 likes, that we were gonna knock out the Goodkid Maad CIty album reaction, which would be my wife's first time hearing it. We are only a couple likes off of that already. So we appreciate y'all going so hard and just keep working at it. When we get that 100 likes, we promise we gonna get that done.
Yes.
We're gonna drop it on the channel, but more importantly, we're gonna have the full and unedited version on Patreon. And we'll have a link to our Patreon down below. We'll have album reactions, movie reactions, all the above.
Yes. And if you didn't see our last video and you want to be a part of us getting the video done, make sure y'all go like. And if you're not sure if you went to like it,
go check.
Go check.
See, that's a good point. Because even though she isn't necessarily a Kendrick fan, she'll love the album. And y'all can comment down below and confirm that. It's one of those that we got the same logic. Nothing is what it became for no reason. She's gonna love it. So yeah, if y'all want to see that, make sure y'all go like our last video. We're gonna put it on the end screen.
Yes.
And go ahead, tell them the rest.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on them post notifications so y'all don't miss when we post fingers like this. And yeah, follow everything that outro slide says. Bye.
I got real biblical in this video.
It's real up your alley.
It is. That's why I loved it. I was like, Peace.
How does this go? You wanna know? You've never been here before. Go with the flow. We'll take it slow. No need to rush.